In the first week of November 2020, the bells from the tower in St Michael's Church in Ledbury returned to the town, having been away since June. 2 of the 8 bells have been replaced with new bells. The other 6 have been repaired and refurbished. There are also 2 additional bells. One of these is a Remembrance bell, a gift of the people of Ledbury. This short video tracks the journey of this special bell from the ABE depot in Ledbury to the church, and then up the tower and into the frame, where it sounded out for the first time just after 11 a.m. on Remembrance Day. The ABE staff unload all the bells, heaviest to lightest, and line them up along the path of the church, where we hold a ceremony of blessing the bells, conducted by the rector, the Reverend Keith Hilton Turvey.
Let me say just a few words of introduction on behalf of the bell ringers. Obviously, we're very disappointed in all sorts of ways that we couldn't make a grander event of this. It would have been lovely to have had the bells in the church on public display. But it's great that we can hold a ceremony like this, and it's great that we can actually proceed with the hanging of the bells in such a turbulent year. We're very grateful indeed to ABE of Ledbury, who have brought the bells along this morning. Indeed, they collected them from Appleton in Oxfordshire. And once our work is finished this morning, the bell hangers from White's of Appleton will shift these bells into the tower and raise them to the bell chamber. We will now ask the rector to dedicate each of the bells in turn. Rector, I ask you to dedicate to the service of God the new treble, a gift of the people of Ledbury to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the end of the First World War. May the sound of this bell honour those who have died and remind us of our commitment to live in peace.
For those of you who are watching later, this bell is surrounded by poppies, a bell for remembrance and a bell for peace. And I dedicate this bell to the service of God. We pray you, Lord, that you would sanctify this bell and grant that its sound may lift the hearts of all who hear it to the praise of your holy name.
The bells are then taken to the ground floor of the tower and hoisted to the frame on the 4th level of this 13th century building. The treble bell, the lightest, begins its journey upwards, leaving behind the tenor, the heaviest bell. The treble is half the diameter of the tenor and only a quarter of its weight. It is also 284 years younger. It rises to the ringing room, where soon the bell ringers will be able to ring once more. It passes the new training bell that will help us to teach new recruits safely and quickly, and moves up through the second trapdoor to the clock room. On the inside of the bell, you can see evidence of how it has been tuned. Metal has been shaved away very precisely to achieve exactly the right tones. In the clock room, the bell passes the case where the carillon is housed. The carillon is like a giant music box, a toothed metal drum which activates hammers that strike the outside of the bells. The bell now rises to its final destination, the bell chamber, where the frame has been cleaned, painted and extended to allow it to house the 2 additional bells. The bell hangers from White's of Appleton now use their lifting gear to move the bell across to its new home, where it is carefully lowered into place. It is the morning of Remembrance Day. The bell is fitted with a wheel and a clapper, so that even though it is not yet ready to ring full circle, it can be sounded by pulling the clapper against the rim of the bell. It is most appropriate that the first time that this bell is heard should be on Remembrance Day, in honour of those who gave their lives for this country. It is just after 2 minutes past 11 a.m. on the 11th of November 2020. I lie underneath the treble bell and pull the clapper against the bell 128 times. once for each of those who died in World War I and World War II.